But UFC comfortable. Just round people up at the behest of ice. Do you see what the Eagles are doing? Talking about how we needed to remain in Jurassic Park. They have break battles and car shows we have been working on our next podcast.
Right here.
The BLDNDSTRY on record that I was the first one to record Darnell. I felt like I make it the next day. I was like, hey, I'm not everybody in your mama. We need a
Once again, we are back at it, the Build and Destroy show. As you know, every Sunday around 5 we go live. We have, of course, here two special guests today, but I will let High Rise do the almighty intro.
All right, welcome everybody. We have two guests this week to educate us and talk to us about their stories concerning police accountability, which is an issue all of us here really fight for. So I'm actually honored to have two people on the show. I actually do only know the history of one. So maybe I'll introduce Elaine Simmons, and then you can introduce our other guest, and then we can just start with some questions. So we're extremely honored to have Elaine Simmons this week with us. She is, she's a foster mother. I like to say maybe even one of the mothers of Jesse Sarey, who was a young man that was attacked and murdered by ex-officer whose last name is, or his full name is, I believe, is Jeff Nelson. And this happened in Auburn, Washington. And it's an all too tragic story, but what is special and unique about her is that she had some history and has gotten some form of justice for her son in the fact that Officer Nelson was convicted. And so she can talk to us about that journey today for a bit as we take some of her time. So thank you so much.
Thank
you for having us here. Christina is, she was at arraignment, and it was the first time I met her of Jeff Nelson, and she caught a rare footage of Jesse's mother, biological mother, and myself. And from that day forward, we've traveled to Washington, D.C. She's been real instrumental in being a strong advocate and being part of the whole court process. Whenever she was able, she showed up. So I thought it would be great to bring an activist or a compass. People use different names, interchangeable, to this discussion, because she could give a different perspective from her lens.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
On short notice, yeah. Well, what we do is we just kind of go around the horn and ask questions for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then, and then we'll let you go. But why don't you, Elaine, talk to us about like maybe what it was like to be in the court that day when Officer Nelson was found guilty, and sort of maybe bring us up to speed about from that day till now.
First, I just want to celebrate Jesse, just in case people don't know who he is. Jesse entered into my life when he was about, I think, 10 years old or 11. At that time, I was the foster mother for his younger brother, Terrell Sarey. And we had to go through a lot before he was placed with me. They are a Cambodian family, and so there was a lot of cultural background about, would this be a good fit? And so both boys lived with me, and then Jesse ended up going to a different placement. They needed to put him in a place called Ryther Children's Home because he needed a lot more help with some of his mental health issues. Terrell ended up staying with me and aged out of foster care. So he was with me for about 10 years. And on over the weekend of Memorial in 2019, I saw the news and I saw that an unidentified Black man, unidentified brown man was shot, and that it might be a fatality. And at that time, I was working in the juvenile justice system as an art teacher. And so I was thinking it's either someone I know who committed the crime or it was someone who was a victim of the crime. So on June 1st, I get a phone call from Terrell, and he says, Mom, have you been watching the news? And that's when I realized it probably was someone, in the Sarey family. And it was Jesse. So he was shot. At that time, we did not know that he was dead because we thought that he was in the hospital, and it was over Memorial Weekend. So we gathered at Jesse's home, and it's really important for me to just emphasize this. There was probably about 20 family members there, and me being the only white person, they turned to me and they said, Elaine, you know how to navigate systems. Can you please take this on? And at that time, I said, you had to give me a green light and never give me a red light, because I don't know what this next 7 years, well, it wasn't 7 years at that moment, but what the next 7 years was going to be like. So I just wanted to give you preface. Jesse was really a sweet kid. He loved breakdancing. He was going to audition for Monkey Spank, and he was waiting for that opportunity, and he used to do head spins, and he was really into the hip hop kind of movement, and just a good nature. But he was like many children that age out of foster care, they become system resistance, and he went into homelessness, mental health issues, and that was his trajectory. So I just wanted to give that to you. Conviction day. I'm going to let Christina jump in because that was her most uncomposed day.
Yeah, like Elaine said, I was working full time, and so unfortunately I wasn't able to make every court date. But when I had my days off, I was there a little bit for jury selection and a few days of testimony and stuff. But I was there on conviction day, and I absolutely felt Carrie's presence in the courtroom, which was Jesse's mother. She passed, unfortunately, due to the heartbreak about what happened to Jesse. And I can let Elaine speak a little bit more about the domino effect that Jeff Nelson murdering Jesse had on the family, which is just devastating and just breaks my heart. But I felt her presence in the courtroom with us. And when they said guilty, I just literally like burst into tears. I could not hold it in because, like Elaine said, this has been, well, it's like what, 5 year long, if not longer, day to get here. And to just hear that he was guilty was just like, thank God, because I mean, what he did to Jesse was just horrendous. And I remember watching the video about what happened to Jesse, and the last words he said were literally, "I'm not doing anything wrong." And then he was shot. And so those words always stick with me. And then I heard guilty again, and I just cried again. Like, I was just so thankful. And as the jury was walking out, I told him thank you. And then as he was being handcuffed, the 3-time murderer, Jeff Nelson, I took out my phone and started taking pictures because I was like, we have to capture this moment of him being handcuffed. And they tried covering him so that like nobody could get photos, but I definitely tried. And I got some photos of him being handcuffed. And so that was a really, really powerful day. We went out and celebrated with all the attorneys, which was amazing. And we actually got to also thank the jury again because we were outside celebrating, giving news interviews. There was a news conference and the whole jury walked out and we all just cheered for them and thanked them so much. So it was a really really beautiful day, very emotional day, very emotionally heavy day, but yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, I remember I wore headphones and I had my own little private chair. I'm kind of high maintenance. So I knew if I was going to sit every day for 7 weeks in that courtroom, I was not going to sit on those hardwood things. And Patty Eakes, the lead prosecutor, stands up. She turns around and comes to me and pretty much lifts me up and hugs me. Because to her, that was also very important. The 3 lawyers that were hired were actually the second prosecution team. Before that, we had the King County prosecutors, but they decided to hire special prosecutors that were from a private firm, which I think was probably the smartest thing they could do, because a lot of times we hear about the relationships between all these people, all these players.
Yeah.
So I too felt Carrie there. I felt Carrie there. I felt Terrell there, and I felt Jesse there. I had mentioned my son Terrell. He also had died during that time. So the Sarey family was just being wiped out. And it was really devastating. Jesse and Terrell's biological father, years and years ago, was deported. He was detained in ICE, and when he served out his time, they deported him back to Cambodia, where he died. So that family, the mother, father, and 2 brothers are all gone. There is a half younger brother, Colton, and a half older brother, Matthew. And both of them testified during sentencing. And I'm going to tell you, those 2 boys rocked it. Well, they're men, but they rocked it. They really came in and were able to speak from their truth about what it did to their family, how it destroyed it. And during my sentencing impact statement, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I was so nervous. I've been writing this for like 6 years. I knew we were going to convict this guy. I felt it in my heart. And so I had finally my speech. I'm up there, and the first thing I do is I turn to Jeff Nelson, and the judge is like, "No, you have to look at me." I was like, "Damn!" So that ruined my speech, because there were times when I was speaking to Jeff. And when I got to a point where I said hashtag justice for Jesse, justice served, porn came in. Someone hacked into the thing. And I'm looking at the judge, and all of a sudden the courtroom is just like, and we both don't know what's going on. And then the judge says, Miss Simons, please, we need to stop. And so they stopped, then they tried it again, and the porn came in again. It was really just horrible.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she said, we're going to stop. We're going to take a recess. You'll come back and finish it, and we're going to troubleshoot. Well, we had a Zoom link. They had to go over to WebAir. Someone got, because the Zoom link was out to many people, but because it was already being aired through the networks, anybody could see it. And so they had to switch to WebAir. And so I came back and I continue my impact statement, and it was pretty powerful. We had 4 on our side, myself, his 2 brothers, and then a foster sister of his. And they were just all very elegant. On his side, shame on him. He had his wife, a police officer, his wife's father, a police officer, a chief of police.
Wow.
And someone else. And I'm thinking, okay, where's your biological family? No one ever showed up. There was
Wow.
no
Not
one
telling.
there. The only people in that courtroom was Union Strong, and so it was always full of police officers. And on sentencing day, both the chief of police and the mayor of Auburn sat on his side. To this day, no apology.
Wow.
Three-time killer,
disgusting.
what Christina said.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Still the mayor, the current mayor?
We can't get rid of her. We've tried. A person did a recall, wasn't able to get rid of her, went to court to even try to. She just had another case. I don't know if you remember, but a sex predator within the police department. Another person arrested. Auburn has a real checkered history. When Brian Scammon was murdered by Jeff Nelson, he was one of the first people to have an inquest, and it didn't go forward. Then Isaiah Obit was killed by Jeff Nelson, and there was actually a really good case built against him for that case, and it didn't go anywhere. And so two possible murders could have prevented Jesse's murder if someone in Auburn, the city council, the chief of police, Mayor Nancy Buckus, if they were just doing their job and paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also had over 90 reports of excessive force. And I also want to applaud the judge. She was amazing. And she also at sentencing called out all the police officers that were on his side in Auburn PD, basically shaming them for standing behind him, basically saying that his actions were okay and justified. And so the judge was just, I love her. She's amazing. And she called them out for them basically sitting by his side the whole time, which I thought it was great that she pointed that out and mentioned that as well too at sentencing.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up her quote. I just love it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull that up to you guys. It's real short, but her quote is exactly, in closing, as the judge made her sentencing decision, she stated, if you wanted to test a man's character, give him power. In this situation, I would add, give him power, a badge, and a gun. Character is who you are when no one is looking. When Officer Nelson thought no one was looking, he took the opportunity to harm others. I mean,
Yeah.
I sent her a thank you email after that.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing.
I'll tell you though, sitting through a murder trial in the state of Washington on a police officer, we all know what happened at the Manuel Ellis's case. It was horrible. And
horrible.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I went a couple times, and so that's what I was getting prepared for. Now, our deputy prosecutor, Patty Eakes, was also on that case. So she really was like, she was kind of like tested out or something. And so I'm sure she came into that courtroom also with that same kind. But Christina mentioned jury. Now, jury selection, if I was to give any advice, because no families have really gone to murder trial, just my family and the Ellis's family. Jury duty is important to show up. It was 15 days. To give you an idea, ours was 15 days jury, and then it was supposed to be 8 weeks, the trial. After the prosecution presented their case, the defense rested. They did not do their case. And the judge was even shocked. She was like, what? And they said the prosecution has to have proven their point. But if you take a look at Sonia Macy's murder trial, it took 1 week. 1 week. 1 day for jury selection, a couple days for the trial, and then deliberation and determination. And they got the full amount. They got the 20 years. We wanted the 20 years plus We wanted consecutive, but we only got concurrent. So we got the 16.8. But it was a very interesting watching the parallels between what happened in the Sonia Macy's case and ours. And also they had the camera, the body cam, which is very different. So when you look at cases across the United States, depending what kind of video footage you have, we didn't have any. We heard some audio. We heard the dog barking in the background in the car. It took an amazing videographer to go and hit every camera that was around and take all that and create. And that was kind of boring. I mean, it was like, I don't know, a whole week of watching every pixel, but it was important.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I learned was I began traveling across the United States. I needed families who have been in murder trials. I needed to meet them. I needed to learn from them because I didn't have that kind of entry point here in Washington State. Plus, they were my call people. When I got out of that courtroom and I'm raging, I would call up my girl, Sheila, in Florida. Her nephew's, he got 28 years, I think, for his murder. So I would call her. I'm like, Sheila, I can't believe what just happened. And she's like, yep. Stay strong. Stay the course, Elaine. So I think that's important that people need to know it is a rough journey. I mean, I missed one day in the 7 years. And that was because it was the jurors' field trip to the murder site and I was not allowed to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty intense. We're post-sentencing now. He was sentenced on January 23rd, 2025. And it's been hard. For me, I ended up retiring early. I just kind of doing my own healing and figuring out what my purpose is. If I was to have my dream come true, I want to create a graphic novel showing what it was like to go through a jury and make it so that kids in schools, I was an art teacher, are able to see that the imagery of what happens. Because in our trial, we didn't have enough documentation. There wasn't someone there sketching. Very limited photography and footage was happening during that.
Yeah.
What do both of you guys do to keep, your batteries charged and energized to continue the fight? Or does the fight keep you energized?
There's that recent murder in Puyallup. It just hit the news, I think, yesterday or the day before. Another man was killed by police. Every time I say I'm going to just move on, to give myself grace and permission, something happens and it pulls me back in. And I think for me is that I want other families not to give up hope. It took almost 80 years to get a police officer in the state of Washington sentenced. It was I-940, the initiative that did it. That's Jackie's story. Her family was very instrumental in creating the I-940. However, they didn't benefit from it because it was after when it was approved. And I'm very excited. I know that I can't speak much about what's going on, but they're having court. And I'm hoping that that brings forth something for Native American and indigenous people that have been killed in our state and country. But for me, my dog, she's right down here. You can't see her.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Traveling, I've been living kind of a little, not the kind of traveling I like to do. Usually I've been to Cambodia, I've been to the Middle East, I've been to some amazing places, I've been to, Jordan, but I've been cruising. taking cruises with other justice moms. So we've been on 2 cruises together. 2 of the moms live in Florida, one lives here, and we all 4 go cruising together. We've gone to, South America, and it's really been healing because you just go on a ship, you don't, nobody knows who you are, and it's our time for healing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What about the other guests? What do you
Christina?
do?
Me,
Yeah,
no,
what
I
do you do
think,
to keep yourself charged up?
I think like you said, the fight keeps me going. I think it's very, very important that we as a community show up to support impacted family members whenever they need or ask, because I think there's absolutely nothing more heartbreaking than having your loved one murdered, and not only murdered unjustly, but then never getting justice or accountability for it. And so I try to show up as much as possible. I literally urge my community to please always show up for impacted family members, um, because we need to show them the love and support, um, that, they're, like I said, essentially never going to get justice and accountability for their loved ones being murdered. And it's our job as a community to show them that their grief and their pain and their heartbreak matters, and people care. And I don't think enough people show up to support impacted family members, and that just breaks my heart. And so um I've come to know a lot of impacted family members, and I became close with many of them. And yeah, I just think it's really important to always show up for them and support them, as much as we can. And so yeah,
And
that's
it
what
takes a
keeps
lot
me
of
going.
trust. Takes a lot
Yeah.
of trust to allow people that are not part of the impacted family member into our lives. And Christina has proved herself over and above.
Thank
So
you.
that speaks volumes for her character and who she is.
Yeah, thank you. I
Thank
try.
I'll do tell you one thing. There were times in the courtroom I couldn't, at first I thought people would be there every day for me, but that was unrealistic. I took a leave of absence from work, and so there were many, many days that I would come into that courtroom and I sat alone. And Jeff Nelson would be there, and he would always have his little posse. And so at moments on those days, the only person that knew the living, breathing Jesse was me and the man who killed him. And those were really hard days. Those were the days that I just sat there, and I did about 10 journals. I would just write and ponder, keep notes, asking questions in my head. During the first part of the trial, we were on Zoom before we actually went into the courtroom. So there were a lot of pre-hearings, and that's what I tell families. Don't miss a pre-hearing, because then when you're in that courtroom and you don't see Jeff Nelson's tattoos, you can't question why it's not there. It was redacted. All of them were not allowed in. And the significant thing about his tattoos was the hate tattoos.
Yeah.
This was a public servant wearing white supremacy hate tattoos.
Yeah.
So when he came into that courtroom, he was suited up. But when he came in on sentencing day, he was in jail garb, and you could see all his fucking tattoos. And I remember one of the impacted fathers lean over to his wife and says, he must have been getting beat up. And she goes, nope, those are his tattoos that were hidden.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I did put in a request to meet with him. I don't know if he'll ever meet with me, but I did. I didn't know I could. I went into the notification. I updated every time. So I'm on notification of where he is and what's happening. And there was a thing in there saying about communication. And so I put in that I would like to have communication with him. It'll probably never happen, but it's something that I think is important for me to kind of be able to look at him and see and ask really what was happening in that last moments of Jesse's life, you know. He's out of state now, though. They did transfer him out of state, and I believe that was for his protection.
Yeah, and he didn't even render any aid to Jesse. Just a complete disregard for his life, clearly. And he was so wrong and so mistaken when he looked at Jesse and thought, oh, this is a person who's houseless, on the streets. Nobody cares about him. He probably doesn't have any family. And he was so wrong. Not only was Jesse so loved and had such a beautiful family, but he also grew to have such a community of people that really truly love Jesse and Elaine and Jesse's family. I absolutely adore Colton. He's the youngest brother. I literally check on him all the time. I tell him all the time how proud I am of him. Christmases, birthdays, send him, money and stuff. I just want him to know that he's loved. And even though heartbreakingly he lost almost essentially all his family, he only has one half brother left, that there's people that truly love him and care about him and are rooting for him, because my heart just breaks for Colton every day. I can't imagine what he's had to live through. And so he was so mistakenly thinking that Jesse was just this disposable person nobody was going to care about. And he was so wrong about that. And he's just a horrible human being. And also he, what a lot of people brought up, the judge and Jesse's foster sisters, that he was caught on video saying something essentially along the lines of, I take the biggest and the baddest and I make an example out of them. And it's like, well, now you've been made an example of, you complete piece of shit. So, I think it was great that they kept bringing that up, that he thought, oh, I could just run around and take people's lives and beat people and cause pain and death and havoc all over the community. And it's like, no, now you've the one that's been made an example of. So karma's a real thing. So
yeah, that's for truth. I mean, I don't know what's happening to him. I mean, he has to deal, this narcissistic man has to deal with his own demons day in and day out. And I'm sure the thing that pisses him off the most is that he got caught.
Yeah.
Got sentenced. So
yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine, because he turned around at one point. It's the first time we really heard his voice. And he says, thank you, I love you to his supporters. And I'm like, oh my God, you are such a weird man.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
In the courthouse, though, we were all in the same space. So during breaks, during deliberation, we're all there. We're all using the bathroom. We're all in the elevator. So there was one day I was getting into the elevator and I was looking at my phone, and I looked up and it's Jeff Nelson, his wife, and his little bodyguard. And they looked at me, I looked at them, and I said, oh, fuck yes. And I went into that elevator. People are texting, Elaine, what did you just do? And he goes, what floor? And I said, come on, the lobby. And so I went down in the elevator with them. And man, this 6 foot, I don't know what, I'm 5 foot. I think he was so afraid of me.
Yeah, he's a coward.
It was really, I was very, he didn't make me afraid. There was nothing about him that made me afraid of him because of exactly what Christina said. He was a coward. To be able to take out people, shooting them from the back, shooting Jesse within not even, I think it was like not even a foot.
Couple feet,
Yeah,
at the most a couple feet. Yeah.
An unarmed young man that was definitely in crisis, Hindsight, he should have been giving him comfort, saying,
Exactly.
Is there someone I can call? You're our distress, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing.
And he also has a track record of lying all the time. And I mean, him just lying and saying, oh, Jesse took the knife and I was scared he was going to stab me. And like, we all know that's a complete lie. Like the witness grabbed the knife and put it on the car, but he was just so used to lying and getting away with it that he thought that he could do this to Jesse and just lie and say, oh, and like I said, he clearly thought he was going to get away with it. And he was so wrong. And he's a liar and he's a coward. And yeah, he's just horrible person. Yeah.
He'll be about the age I was when the trial started. When he gets released, and then I'm going to be in my 80s, so I don't know what will be happening then, but he'll come out in his probably mid 60s, and it's kind of interesting. He voluntarily gave up his certification. I was hoping it would be revoked, but he voluntarily gave that up. On conviction day was the first time that he actually was arrested and fired from Auburn Police Department. So for 4 years, he was on paid administrative house arrest. So that kept Auburn from having a police officer, basically. I don't really know what his life was like under house arrest. A lot of the activists were like, oh, we're going to go to his house. And I'm like, I can't hear you. I can't be part. There were a lot of things that I just said, do what you need to do, but I can't be part of that. Because I had to really make sure I didn't get fucked up in that courtroom, because the defense, every possible moment, went against me. They would bring something in about Miss Simons. And even at one point, the judge is like, this isn't about Miss Simons. This is about Jesse. And man, did they really tried to really discredit me. There was one time where they really thought that I put 60 wanted posters.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Christina, tell that story.
They also tried so many times to just get a mistrial. I really am convinced that it was him and his team that put the porn on in the victim impact statements. And like she said, one day we got to court and somebody supposedly from Jesse's side put all these posters all over the courthouse and the parking lot, calling Jeff Nelson a murderer, which he was, and saying all these things. And it was just their desperate attempt of getting a mistrial. And I mean, there's other things too, but yeah, that was one instance that it was like, that was so obviously you, because none of us would ever do anything like that to put this trial at risk. And they did so many dirty, sneaky things to try so many times to get a mistrial. And I'm so glad that the judge saw through that and did not let that happen, because they tried multiple times to get a mistrial.
And conveniently, nobody had a copy of one of those posters. I went down and I went looking for it. Oh, well, we took them down right away before the jurors could see them. And I'm like, oh, so you didn't save one of them? But we're supposed to believe this?
Yeah.
I wish I saw them, though. I would have liked to have gotten pictures of it.
Yeah.
So, but it's good to be able to talk about this. Like I said, one of the things that I truly want to do is be a mentor and advisor for families that get to the point of murder trials. I hope they reach out to me like the other families that were there for me that have been through a murder trial, because it is it takes its toll on you. It really does. And, sometimes I feel weird. I feel like, who am I? That was my whole purpose for 7 years, So it is kind of a strange journey for me. On a fun side, Como just did a news story on me on the December storm. The deadline's coming up June 10th, and they came out to my home because I got money from FEMA, I went for it. And so I got to do a PSA and tell people, get that application in. It's coming up. And the Como guy's like, it's so nice to come out and interview Elaine for a whole different story. So, I mean, that sounds corny, but I really, truly want people to look into FEMA. They said a very low turnout of people putting in applications. So even my inspector said over 100 FEMA people were dispatched here. It was the first time since the Nisqually earthquake that we got FEMA funding, and people just aren't putting in their applications, and it's not that hard. I mean, so sorry, that has nothing to do with this, but
it's okay.
It's important.
It's another reason why you're awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun to be on the news again. My neighbors were like, oh no, that lady's up to something again. Last time it was cars out front for the murder trial, and now this time, for FEMA. Any other questions? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I know it is the type of thing we can talk about forever, from the city of Auburn's failure on who they hire as police officers, to the fact that this man was a literal serial killer, basically.
Yeah,
and
literally.
But I think I'm happy to let anyone ask a last question, and then we'll thank you for your time, for sure.
I mean, I guess I think one of the things, that you've brought up several times is, how important it is for other people going through this to hear your experience and understand what you had to go through, and just to mentally prepare for what's ahead. And the theme throughout, it seems to be community, like find your people, find your community. What are some ways that someone that's kind of starting this journey, how do you find that community? How do you know who to trust? How do you know who's genuine, who's just kind of there in that moment? If there's any way for you to kind of put that into words, I think that could be super powerful for folks here.
The community that really was the most important to me was the Khmer community, the Cambodians. They came so strong, and they mainly work on deportation. That their issues are so far from the Jesse type scenario. And I remember where a couple of them came to meet with me on my back deck. They wanted to also know, can they trust this woman? It was a really a back and forth type thing, because here is this white lady touching upon immigration rights, deportation, mental health, homelessness, foster care. Jesse's family was caught up in all of it. And the most important thing, and I'm going to let Christina talk about the night before the trial, but the most important thing was showing who his community is. That community isn't like, the Black Panthers of Tacoma came on board. There was a lot of different people on the journey, but if we did not have the Cambodian community there, I think we would have fallen short on who this young man was, because that is so foreign to people across the nation. The Asian population is 1% maybe that are killed by police. It is not, we had Tommy Lee, so I think that was really important. And if you could talk a little bit about the night before, Christina, why that happened and why that was important.
Yeah, so the night before the tryout started, we all gathered in front of the courthouse, and like Elaine said, there was members from the organization, other impacted families, and there was also Buddhist monks who were there, and we all prayed. They gave us blessings, and like she said, that was really important to not be lost, that he was part of this community. And I think it was also like a little healing, to have them there, and to pray and get these blessings. And yeah, and there was also of course other impacted family members that are always showing up for each other. And there are people who kind of just show up when they want a photo op, and stuff like that. And so when you become a part of this community, you see the same people showing up over and over again. And most of the time it's always just impacted family members showing up for each other, which is why I'm always urging my community, like, show up please for impacted family members. I mean, I've been showing up for years, as often as I can. Like I said, I've got to know many impacted family members, and they're just amazing, beautiful people. And I just try to do everything I can to show up and support them. But yeah, there are a few people who are like that. But like I said, this is a very tight-knit community. So you start to see and which people are really there because they care about the cause, and people who don't, who just want a photo op. So yeah.
And I don't call out people, and I probably never will. Maybe when I do my own memoirs or something. But I also ran into some really bad characters, bad players, and they were very quickly removed. They didn't get the privy of invitations. I stopped communicating with them, and they started fading away on their own, because I saw that their intent was to co-op and not really focus. One of the things I've always said is, do not polarize what this is. This is police accountability. And if you know the journey we were on, we started right when COVID pretty much hit.
Yeah.
And Trump, and the first time with Trump, and the second time with Trump. And so we had a lot of things happening on that journey that people could have come in and polarize or co-op it for their own agenda and take away from what we're really there for. And that was police accountability. And so some people call me a gatekeeper, and I found out later that was a really negative term. But to me, I said, oh, hell yeah. I don't look at it as negative, but I am not going to let anyone come in and mess up things. And so that was very important in the courtroom, too. I mean, I pretty much laid out the rules. You do not disrespect. You do not heckle the other side.
You did,
do not do these things, because the jury, the judge, the media, everyone is watching us. And what do they expect? They expect us to be animals, to be disrupted. And I saw the trial the other day of that young man back east, and 3 people were escorted out because they got emotional. And I'm not saying you can't be emotional, but the judges are going to really hold firm on that, and so it's hard. And maybe one day I'll have a sit down with some of the people that really disappointed me. I'm that kind of person, just like I want to meet with Jeff. And I'm going to say to them, what happened? What changed? Why did you come in at this point? But one thing that I do is that up to the point where they disappointed me, they did good. That's the point I focus on. look what,
Yeah.
they did this or they did that, because whatever happened after, that's their story. I don't know what made that happen,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that happens in impacted families, believe it or not, across the nation. We're not all one happy family. I mean, look at my family. We're one of the rare families across the nation that got a semblance of some kind of justice. How many thousands of families out there that will never ever see it inside a courtroom? And I take that with so much intention. I don't dismiss what those people are going through. And it is hard. I walk into a room and I may be the only family when I go to Florida, or when I went to Akron, Ohio. Whenever I travel somewhere, I may be the only family in there that got a murder trial. And that's a hard position to be in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it just illustrates the depth of the problem and how long and severe it's been going on, and how many people across the country have been impacted.
Yeah.
And, we thank you for your time this hour. And, this is a hip hop podcast, and we heard you loud and clear at the beginning of the show, paying homage to Jesse's art and his membership in this hip hop community and family. And we're all B-boys and B-girls and MCs and graffiti writers and break dancers and producers and beat makers. And we want to hold space for him. And we're proud to have you on. And, we'd love to have both you guys back in a couple of months when there's just more things to say, and just continue telling us about all of that stuff.
I do want to say something though. At his third anniversary, I decided to reach out to all the Asian Pacific Islanders, anybody in the hip hop breakdancing. Massive Monkeys came, they broke dance. King Cosm came, he did his thing. Julie C was our what do you call it? MC, Code, all these different people from so many Asian and Pacific Islanders and Samoans all came, and they paid homage. And the thing is, every single one of them said, we were waiting for you to ask for us to do something, Elaine. So that's another thing I tell people. People are afraid to come and volunteer. So you need to be able to ask. And so I'll try to send you some of the pictures showing you just like all these beautiful people.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I have a lot of videos too. So
you'll have to share. So but we're available anytime you guys want to bring us back. I really am so much gratitude to be on here and to be able to share just how important it is and how it impacts so many people. And, so.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We actually had Julie C on a few weeks ago. She's a real good friend.
She's awesome.
And shout out Massive Monkeys and, long live Jesse.
Yes.
Yep. So, I mean, I wasn't making that shit up.
No, that's real tough.
I mean, especially with Massive Monkeys, it was King Cosm that got him for me. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to get them. They're going to be there. And then Julie C was like, absolutely. Because when she ran Black Coffee up on Capitol Hill, I knew her from even way before this. So I started using this brain of mine and say, oh my God, I know these people and I've never brought them in. And it was a perfect platform for them.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. How do we see this? How do we?
I actually just texted and emailed you the YouTube link. So it's still live. If you were to click on it, you'd see like a weird amalgamation of us looking at us on it. But it'll be up there forever. There'll be a comment section. We can put links to, we can post pictures. And you can share it with friends and family.
Okay, and then I'll learn to try to how to embed it into our website, Jesse's website too.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys.
So much.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, Wicked.
Well, there you have it, folks. The extraordinary guest gave us, I don't know about y'all, but I felt like we could have definitely sat and conversated with them for a long time.
3 hours.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was
easy. All day, pretty much.
All right. Well, I do got some music queued up, so we'll go ahead and get to our halftime break. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes to go over our hip-hop related topics for the day, and that includes a review of yesterday's show. So stick around. We got more for you. Let's see what we got here. We're going to start with this one. We'll start with
exactly the same. Sitting next to her, you just have a ponytail.
starting with the family. No.
No love relation, still famulation. Love forms the whole basis of famulation. If you run into some trouble, call famulation. Everything is all famulation. No blood relation, still famulation. Love forms the whole basis of famulation. If you run into some trouble, call famulation. Everything is all famulation.
In the midst of never forgetting law, but neglect what it was. Dialectic, diuretic, y'all busy rhyming for credit, but wrong reasons did it. Wow, what an exceptional lettuce. The headspace is larger than said grace. Parentheses with the emphasis on lead landscapes till they sick of me. Rendering many reasons for dealing energy over the beats. Brought to you by the syllable slickery. Phantom mysteries, subjective matter for centuries. Neglect the chatter or batter them viciously. Influential epiphanies to the 10th degree. It's the pimping of the massive sentences, this is key. I shouldn't have to defend what I've actually been. The past pretends I wasn't getting it in. Broke the trend of the bar graph with unprecedented bar class. The science isn't far from my craft.
No love relation, still famulation. Love forms the whole basis of famulation. If you run into some trouble, call famulation. Everything is all famulation. No blood relation, still famulation. Love forms the whole basis of famulation. If you run into some trouble, call famulation. Everything is all famulation.
I eat with the hyenas, fly with the eagles, ride with the riders, talk peace with all my peoples, allergic to evil. I am mealy like seagull, deaf like road with 4 gangbangers in a regal, driving illegal with no tats and insurance, endurance for a million rattlesnakes. I walk with the purists, black nuns, all black guns and stay loaded. I deal with a bunch of goons that speak decoded. Fuck the poets. We walk with tigers and dragons. I'm dragging a wagon of enemy eyes and laughing. King Jackson, tack master, black bastard. I elevate like UFOs. Fuck if you rap faster. I rap solid, no college but got degrees. Chopping niggas up like soft sausages with no cheese. Word to mama, I got the omelets. I hope you hungry. Bloody Sunday turning to Black Monday.
No blood relation, still famulation. Love forms the whole basis of famulation. If you run into some trouble, call famulation. Everything is all famulation. No blood relation, still famulation. Love forms the whole basis of famulation. If you run into some trouble, call famulation. Everything is all famulation.
Chilling like a villain, but I'd rather be a hero. You won't find no cape on me though. There's 2 types of people, Craigs and Devos. We the squad, major league, call us A-team though. Soldiers of fortune for the fam. I'm so with the nonsense, dodging the dumb down. The bullshit is constant. I can count my real ones on one hand, and we've been making records since before one fam. One shot, one kill, hold the gun, don't jam. Super God talk, words ring through the land. Don Jimmy the GOAT, you see the kicks? That was overheads like a field goal miss. Left brain, right brain, you can say I'm mixed. Tax City arsonist with the spits. On or off land, I cut throats like pirates. May Dolly probably got another 100 bars that fit.
Put my foot on your neck, I'ma keep it there. Y'all niggas piss me off, man.
So from now on, I'm taking my time, and that's all it is. I had my last to fuck up.
This shit hurts.
Those they don't know. Stop making trouble. You're gonna fucking shoot somebody for Christ's sake. There's no reason for that, you know?
Got slaps like E Honda, self-esteem charger. Helpless deeds help me grieve stronger. Belief and honor keep me calm with the harmers. My literary styles like crop circles, the farmers. Spiritual body armor on, my arms are long, detachable attachment. Hurt your ass like a flat pinch. Introverted outcast on a blacklist. Y'all whitewash the game and back twist. The magic of a mishap's miraculous. Keep my batch of energy and symmetry with classics. The body's organic, my fist will recycle your chin. Let you up to the point you feel enlightened again. Bright as the brim of my hat when catching sunbeams. Come between me and my dreams and I become king. Drum beam with the dumb scheme to become another one of one thing or something. What thing? I could do more for you than what you could do for me. I could do more for you than what you could do for me. I tried to tell her. I could do more for you than what you could do for me. I could do more for you than what you could do for me. Oh, tapping out metaphors in Morse code. Little goes a long way, like decadent morsels. Incredible core show, banging out the killer meetings. I keep it cold when I'm still a heater, killing speakers. If I see you on the stage, I'll throw you off the shit. Duck Dynasty, so my patent on my esophagus. If the pit is bottomless, then why I gotta miss it? Honest logistics keep me from profiting off the business. I only speak the timing when the clip is in. Neutering y'all nigga styles like I got a clip of yo. Propositions got me popping oppositional. Clap you when cooking, your belly flopping on the kitchen, no. Spill your cup of noodle for the bucks as usual. That's just that and when fake humans are using you. I die with the dialect of a hating vet. You ain't never held a string instrument, nigga, try to fret. You don't know the pristine predicament that my mind affects. You ain't never did multiple drugs for a combined effect. I'm a nuisance trying to find a net. If the route is stellar, then I'll probably bite it back. Why neglect? I could do more for you than what you could do for me. Stupid. I could do more for you than what you could do for me. I try to tell them that. I could do more for you than what you could do for me.
Stop making trouble.
I could do more for you than what you could do for me. Darling.
Cause we're not just bad, we're the baddest. 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 Bad, we're the baddest. Bad, we're the baddest.
Put a good soup on a hot summer day.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm just. Weird day for a hot soup, but it's you to you. That was oddly aggressive.
Yes, indeed. We are back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Well, that was a great double guest.
Yeah.
I'm dipping. Sorry.
Oh, we like the car view. We missed the car, the car angle. We missed it. All right, well, we do got some hip hop things to run through. And are them glasses really like that?
Yep. It's Minecraft style.
Yeah, I could see that, but I was like, it looks like it's one of them.
A filter?
Yeah, it's a filter. He got on the fucking
Yeah.
Minecraft glasses filter.
Yeah.
Nah, those are fire.
My son tried to shame me last night. We went to that gig, right? And I was getting the little show fit ready. And I was like, yo, I'm about to bring the glasses tonight. And he was like, everything but the glasses. And I'm like, why? What's up, man? And he's all, you look like you just stay in your bedroom and play Minecraft.
Nah, those is fire. I ain't never played
thought it
Minecraft a
was
day in
fire.
my life, but I recognize the the 8-bit
Yeah.
type structure. So those are fire.
I like, man, we about to hit the stage. We about to go to Cali. I think I'm gonna rock the those lights be bright on stage. I get why people be wearing them at night. I ain't gonna be walking around the streets with these on, but on stage, I don't mind blocking the light.
You have to have a good light setup. It should be bright.
Yeah.
I guess we get
And our-
right
those
into
lights
our
are bright
discussion
and
of. I guess we get right into a discussion of yesterday's show.
Fantastic way to man, it feels good to get these little rehearsal jump offs before we go on our quest. And I'm proud that the crowd that was there resonated. And I don't know. I feel like we should be able to pat ourselves on the back. I don't think we're just getting family love at this point. Like we actually reaching out past the famulations, and we're converting strangers, man. One stranger at a time.
Well, here's the deal. We're not headliners. We're not doing Kanye a 2-hour show where nobody else performs. So every show that we have at this stage, there's going to be other artists. So
it feels like an interview. Like we're doing mad interviews.
Well, I think yes, that, but not just interview for the artists and DJs that are there, but for their followers, if they have any that show up. Because the audience perspective, you can't deny the performance. It's like even the pros know this. When the pros go out on tour, people talk about it. Like, yo, you can't go on after Busta Rhymes. He has to go last.
Because, yeah, you're going to clear out that space. His energy is so massive.
Yeah, you can't come after that. And I think that's the type of energy and vibe I think we bring is.
Me too.
is, yo, man, that's hard to follow right there. We might not be the headliners, but at a certain point, motherfuckers might be wise to, yo, we might need to put these guys towards, the end of the show. Like, if I'm the headliner, I'm going up before y'all motherfuckers. If I see y'all name on the flyer, nah, y'all going up last. I'm going up before y'all.
And it's totally easy to execute something that you have fallen out of love for. Like you could have just put in the hours, and it's really easy just to run through the motions of it and get that off. But it hits different when there's people actively practicing their art form and they love it. Like for them, it's medicine, and they do it for their health and their wealth. That always comes across different too. And I think you're right, Wicked. I think you get to see these different energies out here on stage, but the energy that always triumphs are the people that give a damn about this craft and they bleed for it. It's not like a hobbyist type situation, or I just tinker. And a lot of them folks, you could tell when they get on stage, you're like, oh, you're just a weekend warrior. Like you like to tinker, but this ain't like your livelihood. And I think that's what we bring. Like it is a way of life for us. It's not just a hobby or something that we practice when we're bored. It really is our lifestyle and how we move.
Yeah, that's the deep esoteric look. I'm just talking about, look, man, if you're trying to go see a rap show anywhere in the country,
very few people love it the way Busta loves it. That's why they can't go after him. He loves it on a different level.
Nah, like he tears it down on a different level. You could love it just as much as him, but you can't tear it down like that. Like you just don't have the tools. It's like you're trying to build a house. You're trying to build a skyscraper, but you got house building tools. You can't build above 3 stories without certain cranes and special equipment, and everyone just don't have that. You can love it as much as you want.
Yeah,
we coming out here, we building skyscrapers on the stage.
It's a combination of love, tools, and practice. If you got all those, you're gonna set yourself up nice. Busta probably got more performance practice than everybody.
Nah, there's levels, man. Even the big dogs that got plenty of shows under their belt, they know who you can't go after.
Yeah.
And those are the tours where they're doing when they were at peak career mode. It's not like what we see nowadays, where it's the senior artists, they're considered OGs now, doing a OGs tour. Nah, these is tours at the peak, Rough Riders and Def Jam, like. But yeah, I definitely think it was a needed warm-up show. There's things that, we're already talking about to improve it. And I think
shouts to the chick with the video game beats last night. Those are some cool sounding beats.
Well, here's 2 things I realized that I wanted to do yesterday besides the show. Was I wanted to try to do some sort of like commercial, and we just got to be, I think, a little bit more intentional on, especially when we do have together moments to capture some social media pictures and short videos just to be able to share. But I definitely want to make sure we do some sort of a commercial specifically for Santa Rosa and Pacifica, so we can put the $50 or whatever towards the Facebook ad spend to circulate that out there.
Yeah. Good idea.
All right. Well, what y'all
I want
feel
to
about?
give honorable. I just want to give quick honorable shout outs to Vince Staples and Young MA. Both of them got really strong projects. And you could put them straight through. They're good in the car. Young MA overcame alcoholism, so she has a good kind of redemption type story. But she'd be out rapping a lot of the male MCs. She has been for a while anyways, but I don't know. She's clear-headed and sharp. Good album. And then Vince Staples, very conceptual, but fun and alternative, and dude's just showing that he got a lot of facets as an artist. That man could do whatever he want to do. But they both get thumbs up from me.
Well, that's a good segue to one of my topics here. Is rollout. Project Rollout. So, your two folks that you just mentioned is a good kind of dichotomy. You see Young M.A. on Shannon Sharp. You see Young M.A. on Talk with Flea, interviewing with Cameron. So doing some sort of a traditional media appearance rollout to promote the album. Whereas Vince Staples, he seems more tech savvy, and he probably has promotions in places that we would never see. He probably got Reddit promotions and all types of fucking dark web advertisements. He probably got an advertisement inside Roblox. Like, you got to go into a certain game, and he got an ad up in there. And that reason why that's on my list of album rollouts is, first and foremost, everyone doesn't do them. So some people we're in that age where it's just like the midnight drop.
Yeah.
But I put it on my list because of Rick Ross and Jay-Z. So Rick Ross, he's already announced his album. It comes out this week, or I think Friday. Sometime in the next week. And he's definitely been on a media run. But his rollout and promotion is not promoting his album. It's all taking shots at 50 Cent.
Yeah. In a way, Versus was a promotion for his album, because he had already did a Versus. But at the end of Versus, that was a lot of the thing, was him promoting his joint that was coming out.
I'm saying he's spending his time talking shit about 50 Cent and Drake. Like, that's it. And yeah, there's definitely memes about his shows. You can look them up on whatever Ticketmaster or whatever website and see where his shows are at and how much the seats are selling for and how empty they are. How many available seats are still left.
Yeah. He's the one that he epitomizes what I was talking about earlier. Like, he don't love it like how we love it. So even though he's famous and rich, we'll infinitely be able to put on a better show than that man. Like, that dude's in it for different purposes.
I agree 1,000% with that.
That nigga, I'm sure that nigga done perform way more than us, but he won't put it down like we will with our energy. He just won't. Don't matter what diamond ring he got on, man.
Yeah, we'll fucking rock the
want
stage.
it right now.
To
I want Build and Destroy versus Rick Ross versus. Right now. Let's do it.
Look, you gotta think that's something they should be thinking about. switching up the verses, like, all right, fuck the big names versus someone else.
Go against the underdog.
Yeah.
Go against the no-namer.
Yeah.
Like Russian roulette versus.
Hell yeah. Like, tournament. Let's do a fucking battle tournament.
Dude, it would get spooky for them folks.
Fuck that. It ain't even the full verses where it's like 20 each. Fuck that. You got to go through the battle tournament.
Yeah.
You get 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's that Russian.
Or if you do it back and forth, maybe it's like you get five each to go through the first couple rounds of the tournament.
Yeah.
You get to the semifinals, maybe. You can't have too many rounds because then you'll burn out all your songs.
True.
But still, there's got to be a way to figure that out. Like the underground folks that nobody never heard of versus the mainstream.
Yeah, man. It's like, what was that movie? Rudy. It's like, let homie do the tryouts. And all of a sudden you can see he can be on the team just like y'all's on the team.
Hey, I think that'll fucking go right there. If you get, it'll have to be the new artist though. You can't. I don't think it would be as good with older established artists, but like new artists that already popped on like Instagram or something that ain't really that established in the music business. Maybe they got a few.
Yeah, all those Rolling Loud folks.
Yeah, that'll be a dope concept. The Rolling Loud folks versus the real underground.
Yeah, you got the little underground stage, and then you got the little fake lit stage, the Rolling Loud stage. That'd be fun. Those festivals, you literally got to pick and choose what stage because there's 2 shows going on at the same time, and you got to choose.
Nah, see, that's where we would benefit from more exposure. Because of
having the singular?
Yeah, because if people ain't seen you perform yet, they don't know that they're supposed to go to your stage.
I see.
If you're on the same stage and you guys is going back and forth, song after song, they know after the end of that who they fucking with. It's undeniable. Like, it's just, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. We practice, we wrote these songs, and we have the energy. And like you said, the love. I think maybe that is something that is intangible. But I still think you can have a lot of love for it, but not still have the same energy and ability. Like,
no, I get what he's saying.
It's like me, I can't bust a note. Like, some people, they can fall back on a little harmonizations, or even the mid-song banter and cracking jokes and shit like that. Like, that's really not my forte. That gives some people a little extra special juices. I just don't have that. I'm just there to rock.
Yeah.
I've had it before. I had to write some shit out though. What I'm gonna say, I'm not really a good off the cuff type person. Now, albeit for the E-Tree song, I did go off the cuff on that, but because he had came and practiced and rehearsed a few times, and I wasn't practicing the top because it's not a rap. So it's much harder to memorize something that you did just talk. You're trying to memorize a talk. Like, nah, I just I'm going to go with, I know where I want to go and just go. I think I did all right on that, but.
Yeah, that was good. It sounded similar to the album Talk, actually. It lined up perfect.
Yeah, and like I said, he came over and practiced. So when it would get to that spot, most of the time I wouldn't say nothing. I just let it play. Just be thinking in my head, like, man, can I remember what I said on the album? not gonna try to say that shit word for word. That's too much. All right. Well, also just to think about on album rollout, in preparation for May's projects, AWOL's projects, or his final project, so to speak, and then anything else we got. I think we should make efforts to be strategic to amplify that rollout process to get more eyes and noticeability. What y'all think about Joe and Jada at the finals as media?
So,
to where they were actually in the media, like pre-game or asking questions.
You know, I don't really know. I think that if they earn their media credentials, then whatever. If they did it faster than some typical journalist, then oh well, that's what they get. With their other careers. But I do think Fat Joe watches enough basketball to where I would honestly listen to what he had to say, just off the strength of like that man watches hella basketball.
And he was a Rucker coach.
And he knows, like,
he
He won like 3 or 4 Rucker championships.
Yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah, and he probably knows that Knick team inside and out. He's probably been at every home game. Maybe even and on a lot of the travel games he's there. So
yeah, I seen him at the Spurs game the other day.
Yeah, he was making
sure you would see him.
No, look, no. See, this is the viral moment. He talked about it because I watched him because they're there, you know, in the, you know, they're doing the traveling back and forth because they're covering it. So he talked about it. He said the people in San Antonio was just super nice. And like the organization, even though they knew he was a Knicks fan, at that level, they give you the seats that you get. You don't, he's not buying the seats that he got. And he said there was quite a few New York people, and I don't know if they did it intentionally, but it was under the basket. Because when Wenby was shooting his free throws, you could see Fat Joe in the background.
Yep.
To where he talks about it though, he's like, man, I didn't choose to sit there. Like I just, you know, they were very hospitable. But I mean, when Wenby was shooting free throws, I was definitely right there.
You know, when I was watching that game, I was thinking about how they always talk about how like the New York market is so big. And if you think it, you know, I'm like, well, yeah, I guess so. But, you know, it's like there's not people all over the world necessarily like buying New York Knicks jerseys. But like if just the regular amount of people per capita who buy their sports teams jerseys, like let's just say 3% of the people in an NBA city buying their NBA jerseys, that's 3% of New York is 100 times bigger than the 3% of San Antonio. So it's like if just New York people buying New York shit outsells every other team. They don't have to be an international team.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So the population of the greater New York metro area is almost 24 million. As of 2015, I can't even not even see a recent estimate. But that's a lot.
So a lot.
San Antonio, as of 2025, is 1.5 million.
So it's literally 25 times more. I guess. Crazy.
Well, I guess that's why they right. That's why you can see Knicks fans at every fucking place because there's so fucking many of them. They're like, fuck that. We can't even afford the tickets in New York. Hell yeah, we're going to buy the plane ticket and fly to San Antonio and get fucking good-ass tickets.
Yeah.
They said the cheapest New York Finals tickets was like $140,000.
Oh, it's just uber rich up in there.
I think that's what it said. Did I put an extra zero on it? Let me see. What's the cheapest New York Finals ticket?
I think Amazon might be here.
Okay, I guess we'll go to StubHub and see. Live and direct. Not U.S. Open. NBA Finals. All right, if we want to go to tomorrow's game, let's see if they even have tickets available. Let's say we don't even want 2 tickets. We just want 1. Continue. Okay. You can get up in the 400 section for 6,000.
Wow, that's the tippity top of the arena, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That looks like it's the cheapest one. $6,051 for section 416.
Oh, thank you.
Nope. There's one for $5,999.
Ooh, I'll take 2 then.
Shit, if you got $1 million, I'm gonna take 4. Now, if you don't got $1 million, you ain't taking shit.
Not 6. Oh, only 5,000. All right, that's better. I'll take 2.
Nah, but definitely the so we was talking about the court sides. They don't even show that at the Knicks.
Nah, that's special. They don't post stuff like that. That's
but
exclusive.
You can get into 100, 100 or no, that's
100 and up.
10D and 11D. No, you can get behind the basket where Fat Joe was at. Like when they're shooting free throws for 32,000.
No, that primo courtside.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to imagine
I'm saving
how
up my money for the Sonics.
I was gonna say I'm trying to imagine, because like let's say
opening day.
I mean, just saying like I can't even afford like just theoretically like a $300 opening night ticket to the Sonics. Maybe one, if I were to save up.
No.
I'm trying to think of how much money I would need in my bank account to feel comfortable dropping $300 on a basketball ticket. And then I'm trying to figure out how much money I would feel comfortable that I would need to have to drop $30-something thousand on a basketball ticket. I not $1 million. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't let go 30 of it for it. Not even close, dude.
No, that's $1 million cash. If you got $1 million cash, you got some other shit going on. You're gonna generate. You got money coming in continuously.
But really though, that like, I mean, I would need millions to let go of 30,000. Like, definitely 5 or more. I feel like that's still such a large amount of $5 million too. Like, I don't know if I would ever feel comfortable.
No, I actually agree. I agree with you. I would have to. Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of money to spend 30,000 on basketball ticket.
Hundreds of millions
on one ticket. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say hundreds, but because if I'm in the hundreds, yo, I'm gonna be on the court. Yeah, I'm coaching.
Right. Yeah, but
I
it's
guess-
almost like there
yeah.
really isn't a mid-level, you know? It's like it really is like an ultra. There really is these price tags that really the ultra rich really can only fuck with, and it's so far attainable, even from like, I hate to even say a regular rich person.
Yeah, you would damn near have to make at least what that ticket costs a month to be able to buy something like that.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
If
Well,
could
that's what I'm
spend 30
saying. That's
grand,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
If you
you're
got-
at least making 30 grand a month.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not that unachievable. Well, I mean, I'm not. No, let me take that back. I'm saying in the realm of richnessness, when we're talking about having $100 million versus you figured out something, your AI product is bringing you 30,000 a month.
Because rich
Yeah.
people use credit cards. It's just they got different terms.
Yeah.
So they're swiping credit just like we swipe ours.
They were saying with the Seahawks, people buying the Seahawks, that the NFL is requiring $10 billion in personal liquid assets, meaning, you know, you can't be worth $10 billion. It means like if shit hits the fan, you have to withdraw $10 billion to give to the NFL.
I see.
And there's literally only a handful of people that can do that.
Well, that's more the NFL being they are separating the rich from the rich.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you
it's
think
just
you're
like
rich?
it's-
Nah, you ain't got enough to
There's
to
just a
own the
crazy
NFL team.
level of, you know, it's like not a penthouse level. It's like freaking
Space Pod?
yeah. There you go. Space pod rich.
They just beam you when you're ready to come out.
You know,
just
there's
beam down.
Mercedes rich, but then there's space pod rich.
So you got the beam technology. Just beam me down, Scotty. Oh, that is a lot of money though.
Yeah.
But still, hey man, $300 for the Sonics. Look, you got a year and a half to save up. So,
I'm up in there. Opening
listen,
night.
man, that's $10 a
$300.
month.
Put me down. I'd charge it if I had to.
No, it's all about saving. If you put that money in a jar that says Sonics basketball game and put $10 every month in there, by the time the Sonics opening night is ready, someone stole your money out the jar.
No, you take that jar. You be the first person in line at the Coliseum, and you buy your ticket with cash.
Hell yeah. Look, here, just take this whole jar as a souvenir. All right.
Well, yeah.
Well, these last two topics, we can hit them real rapid fire so we could end our Sunday evenings off on
All
the
right.
family tip.
Let's do it.
Charlamane versus Akademiks and the Drake fan page.
Got to bring me up to speed.
Well, not Drake fan page. It's the Akademiks. Like, so Charlamane and Akademiks they, you know, were supposedly friends, but seems like they're going through a fallout phase over Akademiks' page. Or I don't know. I don't even know the real source of it, but they seem to be falling out, and Drake's academic support of Drake has something to do with it, and this whole Akademiks TV fan page, which is ran by someone else. I didn't write down the guy's name. I can't remember now. It's not Vlad.
I'm looking forward to the point where Akademiks is like not a part of hip hop anymore, and it's just not a topic. I wish people like Charlamagne would stop legitimizing him. I really don't think anybody likes him. It's like rage bait. Like, maybe that's it. Maybe that's
hold on. No. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want to play devil's advocate a bit. So you think Charlamagne is legitimate and people like him?
Me personally, I don't feel I'm not a fan of Charlamagne, but he's worked in media his whole life. He's theoretically paid his dues. You know, I'm not saying I'm not saying sure there's reasons why people don't like him and they're valid, but he's not just a dorky ass streamer.
Is Akademiks a real DJ?
And no, I don't think he is a real DJ.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so one is a real journalist and a media trained professional, and the other is DJ Akademiks is not a DJ.
Yeah.
All right, that summed that up. That put the bow on that one. I don't have anything additional to add. All right, last topic is the. So I didn't listen to this freestyle, but Conway the Machine apparently has a new freestyle where he's taking shots at Westside Gunn. And apparently through the Rory and Mal show as my information on this is Jay-Z suggested that Westside give 5% to Conway and 5% to Benny of the Griselda imprint. Because essentially he's the CEO or whatever, mastermind of the label itself. And he said no. And that's the impetus.
Yeah. It makes me sad. I felt like they've been drifting apart for a while. But I feel like all the Griselda people are strong enough to stand on their own. And so they can get theirs.
Well, for them, what other Griselda people are there? Because, you guys would probably know. I just know those three.
They've signed quite a few people, but, nowadays signing someone doesn't necessarily mean that person's restricted to that label. It could just be putting a project off on that imprint. Like they signed Rome Streets, but I don't think it's like an exclusive thing where these labels, like Rome can't do what he wants or whatever. So I don't know though. Who else besides Rome that was big did they sign?
I don't know. That's a you and May question, not me.
Yeah.
I don't know who else they've signed. You are right. They have a big extended family that they've brought on. But I do notice the trend of rappers are lately, running their contract information through the Chat GPT, and they do be finding out that they sign bogus paperwork that, in the end, it wasn't to their benefit. And I think Westside Gunn is probably doing that move. Like, yeah, we're family, but I'm enough of a businessman to where you sign this shit, and I'm just gonna stick to the paper. Because RZA went through that. Like, a lot of these crews go through that off paperwork. Daz is going through it. With Death Row, it's all like paper wars, it feels like. And it's sad that gets in the way of their brotherhood, but maybe
I think Daz is the one person that might be an outlier. Because his paperwork would be him. He signed good paperwork, and he's trying to collect on his good paperwork. The court-ordered paperwork. Because he already won the lawsuit with Death Row to where they owed him like $100 million. That was like in 2005. I'm saying I would think is different than an artist that signed a bullshit deal and now they want to change the terms of their contract. You know, he's trying to get money that's been already made 20 years ago. Yeah. These new guys are like, well, now I'm starting to make money and I want to change this percentage rate that we have.
Yeah. So they're just learning more. It sounds like Conway learned a lot more about the business side. And then didn't know that he was locked in through a signature.
Which for me, I'm more surprised at the turn down. If you're Westside Gunn, I don't care if this was, well, I don't want to be dismissive, but to me, it just seems like there is no Griselda without Conway and Benny.
He should break them off.
There is no Griselda without them two. I don't care what he was doing in the whole fashion thing. Yeah, he made all whatever clothing designs and all that, but no one's fucking checking for your shit from the music side of things without these two rappers.
I would say even more than 5% personally. Like if I started if I have a movement and even if I'm sort of the most businessy type person, but I have two people that did start it from the ground up, I'm for sure giving more than 5%. Not even close to 5, like 20. 20, honestly, 20 each. 20. I mean, that maybe even more, but that's more fair to me. And
I'm saying that, you know, I maybe I wouldn't go for 20 each, but to say no to 5 each is kind of wild.
That's wild.
That's just
mean. That's mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's beyond, to me. I think about it from a business perspective. If it was me, if I think about the amount of money Griselda, if we just think about it as a record label, you're going to make more money with them still on your team. You're going to make that 5% back. With them off of your team, you're going to make so much less money. So I think it had to be something that was personal between them, even though that business thing may have been the last straw on the back. Like, yo, man, you know you should be giving us 10% each. And there had to be something that happened, because to me, no one's fucking with Griselda as a fucking record label as they split up. Like, what made them dope was this whole thematic. You got 3 people that are using these same type of beats, but they all have a different type of flow. I don't know. I just feel like it had to be something personal. It couldn't have been business, because business comes in numbers. If you're good at math, you can just put the probabilities in it, fucking ChatGPT if you want. You're going to make X amount of dollars if you keep your crew together.
Maybe Westside Gunn's in a hell of debt and can't see things clearly and is trying to keep all the money.
It's possible.
I don't know. And I have no reason to believe that, other than just like, dude, why wouldn't you just break off your dudes 5%, even if they're your ex dudes or whatever? But
freaking the money will bring out your negative attributes, I notice. Like, the more that you get, the more, I don't know, I've seen a lot of people lose touch the richer they get. Like, with that elevation, you lose perspective. And like, a lot of them become overindulgent, and I don't know, they lose a lot of humility and humble to them. Like, you might just be a whole villain the whole time. Like,
we might find out.
Yeah.
It all comes out in the laundry. That's what they say.
He's wearing the Doom chain, man. I think he resonates with that villain. Like, I'm out with the moolah. And I love MF Doom, but he was very straightforward about, I'm out with the moolah and I'm gone. I'm on
Yeah, I might not even show up if you pay
and
me
I
first.
jet. Like, yeah, he's the one that was sending.
I'm gonna send someone else to rap my shit. Fuck.
Yeah, so that there is.
Hey, you don't know it's not me.
Man,
Yeah.
Westside's kind of villainy, is what
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Like the money made him turn villain because he didn't always have that doom chain.
Uh-huh.
Now that he's Fashion Week dude and wrestling federation team and all that, like I think he's just there's something that happened in his brain. He ain't the same Westside from 10 years ago.
Well, I guess that is we should all figure out appropriate mask. So when we do want to just capitalize on people, we can send out random folks to perform as us. I don't even know how you would find someone to.
I'm gonna send out my son.
I'm saying, how would you find someone to do that though? They had to
Earl
do.
Sweatshirt did it for his rollout. This last album rollout, he sent a dude that didn't even look like him to go out there.
Crazy.
Well, see, now we get back to rollouts, album rollouts. Now we're talking about creative ways to promote the project, not, yo, these people are actually thinking that this is you.
He caught all the live reactions and then made it as a video.
I seen Earl's coming to the Admiral in Bremerton.
Man, I would love that.
Isn't that cool? That's cool.
He had an album signing in Seattle some months back.
Yeah.
It was in-person signing when I missed it. But it'd be cool to shake his hand.
Like a 45-minute drive to the Admiral in Bremerton. I wonder who's opening for him.
I don't know, but I feel confident in doing some good work to where there's somebody that has a podcast right now that's like, Build and Destroy is coming to Santa Rosa in July. They'll be in Pacifica. We got to get our tickets. You know Build and Destroy. Tacoma, Washington? May Dolly? Josh Riceberg? He used to write in the newspaper.
Send out the May poster. I can see it now.
Well, all right, y'all.
Yo, you know what it is. Every Sunday, we be here. Make sure you tap in, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back next Sunday. We